The Fed cut rates by another 25 basis points. So what does that mean for student loan borrowers? Here with more, we've got Betsy Mayotte, who is the president and founder of the Institute of Student Loan Advisors. Betsy, great to have you here with us. Can you explain what impact, if any, that rate cuts have on student loans?
Sure. This is going to impact people with private student loans more than people with federal student loans. Those people with private student loans, if they have a variable rate, they could see the interest rates on their existing loans drop. If they have a fixed rate, now might be a good time to look into refinancing those high interest private student loans and maybe get a lower rate, which of course would save them money in the long run and maybe even lower their monthly payment.
And so that starts to get into my next question. Is now a time for borrowers to try and refinance?
Well, that depends. 99.999% of the time, borrowers with federal student loans are advised that it's a terrible idea to refinance a federal student loan into a private. And that's because federal student loans have a lot of very unique benefits and safety nets that private loans don't have. And once you do refinance a federal into a private, there's no take-backsies. But for borrowers with private student loans, it absolutely might be a good time to start looking around and seeing if you can get a lower rate by refinancing that private loan.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau released a report that described a range of what they call unlawful activities across the student loan industry. And the CFPB says that borrowers were misled about losing federal loan protections when they refinanced, private lenders wrongfully denied benefits, and schools would withhold transcripts or access to classes even in cases where there were unpaid loans. Those are just some of the activities the CFPB described. I wonder, within those findings, what your takeaways are and how people can make sure that they are protected against some of these illegal practices.
Yeah, I was really delighted to see that CFPB report shine a light on some of the things that I've also seen in the work that we do with student loan borrowers, especially, some private lenders are really good about making it clear about the loss of benefits for refinancing a federal loan. Others not so good. The best advice I can give to consumers is what I would give them if you're for any financial product, which is to do your research and read all the things. I know no one likes to read the fine print, but it's so important with something especially like a student loan.
President-elect Trump takes office in January. He's pledged to start this new Department of Government Efficiency. He's also talked about getting rid of the Department of Education. How would student loans be impacted by this?
Well, by the things that you're mentioning, not much. If the Department of Education were to go away, which is very unlikely, all that would mean is that the responsibility for managing federal student loans would move to a different agency. Almost everybody says that would be Treasury. It wouldn't change the terms and conditions of those loans. Any such changes to terms and conditions on federal student loans has to be done by Congress and is only prospective. They don't make retroactive changes to existing loans.
All right, Betsy, that's good to know. Thank you so much. We'll check back in the future. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.